kumwen visila bag zakan ko ahu intended kuda se chonga dongola
What? Fellow Ambazonians, good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are and whatever part of the world you are. It's a pleasure having you here with me today on the War Zone. Today's program will be very exciting. There's a lot of interesting things that I'll have to share with you. Especially the highlight of this show today would be the award of the most productive fighting force on ground zero. And we are going to crown that winner for the month of March. So it's going to be the highlight of the show. I hope you all are as excited as I am. This will be the very first edition of it. And what I would like for you to do right now is to share this program, share it, share the link as far and wide as possible. Make sure every person in Ambazonia is watching this show right now. So I'd like to see the numbers increasing rapidly so that we can start the show and get it over with so that the winner of the most productive fighting force on ground zero can be crowned before the whole of the Amazonian people. So, without any much delay, what I would like to do right now is for you to just go ahead, please. Call your uncle, call your aunt, call your mother, your father, your son, your daughter, whoever is your relative, your friends. Tell them the war zone is on and they need to be watching it with you. So it's going to be exciting. You don't want to watch it alone. So make sure everyone is watching right now. Please share the link. I'm here. I have a panel that will be coming on to discuss the issues of the day with me. But before they do, please, we want to make sure that there are enough people watching before they come on. So what I would like to do right now is to extend greetings to all Amazonians, especially our restoration fighters. We cannot thank them enough for the commendable work they are doing defending our homeland from the invaders from French Cameroon. So I would like to really give a big thank you. This show is actually support. It is meant for our fighters. This is a show dedicated to our fighters, to thank them, to recognize them, to appreciate what they are doing, and appreciate their dedication to the liberation of our homeland, the southern Cameroons, Amazonia. So I would like to say hello. I'll do my best to say hello in the various dialects. I know it means a lot when we talk to each other in the language of our native languages. That is the main. Even the English language is not our. It's a borrowed language. So we need to be able to communicate in our own languages. So I will start by trying my best. Let me say hello in com. Tulama bobe, tulama nawan. I think that goes well. Tulama, Bobe, Tulama, Nawan. And in Manfe, I would say Echina. Well, I lived in Manfe some time ago, so at least I haven't forgotten that. Echina. Or some would say Nay. Well, if you're upper Ejagam. So in Mankom, Njulale, Bobama. And in Bafut, I would say Bob Manishima, Abalale, Nicho, okay, and during second Bobina. Well, I had to extend that. In Bali, do I remember Bali very well? In Bangwa, I would say Alake. No, in Bangwa, how do you say it again? Alake. Huh? I think that's Bangwa, if I'm not mistaken. And then in Akum, Abelale, Abela Bobima, in Pingin, Azela, in Akum, Machate Wune, Machate Wune. Am I doing it right? I want you, please, just if you can use as you're watching, tell me how to say hello in your own language so I can pronounce it well. In Bakwere, Elab, Bamu. I think I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I'm doing my best here. So I don't know so many of these languages, but I would like to really say them right. But Just I'm waiting for the numbers to climb so we can start the show. But while the numbers are increasing, why not go ahead and tell me how to say hello in your own language so I can do it right? That would be nice. So I'm waiting to see you type it here. Type it so I can read it. Um, uh, I don't see the numbers coming up as fast as yeah, they're beginning to come up. That's good. Please continue to share the link so that we get to at least even 300 so we can start the show. I have Reverend Michael with me, and the chairman of Mbonge will be joining me later as well, so that we share some ideas on what is going on the ground as far as defense is concerned for the Ambazonian struggle. So again, I thank those of you who are already in Quen, Alako, in Quen. That is good. That's good. Continue sharing. That's good. I have in Quen, Alako. And in Mukwe, what is that? Keep sharing, keep sharing. I can't see all of them yet. I don't. I can't keep sharing. I'll read them as soon as they come in. Yeah. Ingi, Amega Ingi. Yes, that is good. That is good. That is good. Keep sharing, please. Keep sharing. It's interesting, and I like to know some of these languages. It's good to say hello to your fellow comrades in the language they best understand. So keep sharing, and the numbers are increasing now. That's good. Let's get the numbers increasing so we can start the show. Keep increasing the numbers, sharing the link, and telling me how to say hello to you in your own local language or dialect, please. Wewe Sake in Libum. Yeah. Wewe Sake in Libum. Okoro Windy. That's difficult. That's a difficult one. Ni hao in Mandarin. Okay, okay. Where Abela Tat Toby. I can see you. In Kambe, we sake. That's good. In Kambe, we sake. I can see that. And keep sending, please. Keep sending. The numbers are increasing now. Very soon we'll start the show. Olandie in Bali. How could I forget? Olandie in Bali. Bali Nyonga. Olandie. Yes. Which language is this? This is tricky. Nkwe for this Shina. Yeah, Nkwe for this Shina. This is which one? Oh, okay, of course. Comrade Sama Thomas, of course, back on. Nkwe for this Shina. Yes, you spelled it so right that I almost got confused. Yes, in Kose, in Kose, Chang Mika. That's a tough one too. Yes, please keep sharing. We should be proud of our heritage and our culture and be able to speak it. Cho Nau in Bali. What does that mean? Cho Nau in Bali. Yes, the numbers are increasing. Let's keep hitting the share button, please. Keep hitting the share button. We will be starting our show very soon, and like I said, it's going to be very exciting. So I want all of us to be able to enjoy it, not just us, but everyone else. We are not stingy, are we? So let's share it. Let's share it. Someone says my sound in Chinese. Well, we don't have Chinese in Amazonia, do we? Okay. that is not fair. Who is that? Njika Boba. That's not polite. We don't need that here. So okay, yeah. Fidelis Atambo, you have the right to close your eyes. That's not good. Okay. All right, we are up to more than 200 now. I think the numbers will continue to climb. So why don't I go ahead and we'll start the show. Fellow Amazonians, this show is dedicated to our restoration fighters and the war that was declared on the southern Cameroons and Amazonia by La République du Cameroon. But when we look at all of the fighting forces or the groups that are on the ground in Ground Zero, some have distinguished themselves to be performing exemplary, to be giving us exemplary results. And it is good to recognize them. But today we have an opportunity of crowning just one of those groups. But even if we are crowning just one group, it is also good to appreciate the work that others are doing. For example, we know of course, in the BLM, we have Field Marshal and the Red Dragons doing a great job there. We have in the Bui Warriors. We have in Gogatunja, of course, the Marines. And we have the Buffaloes in Bali. In Dian, we have the Expendables are doing a great job there. And there are some groups that have been quite kind of silent for some time now, and we are hoping that they get revived so that they can come back and claim the glory that they once enjoyed. I'm here referring to groups like the Bafut 7 Qatars that have been silent for quite some time now. We are encouraging them to come back and continue doing the work which they know how to do very well, but for some reason they have not quite lived up to the expectations recently. So, but I want to particularly thank the Bali Buffaloes for the discipline that they have demonstrated. In other areas, we see a lot of reports of kidnappings, ransom taking, unnecessary killings, and victimization of our own citizens, which is uncalled for. But I think we are not saying that there's any group on the ground that is faultless or without blemish. But when you are able to manage those kind of out of the ordinary situations and to maintain a productivity, I think it's worth recommending. So I want to really off my heart to the Buffaloes of Bali because they are disciplined, they are professionally dedicated to the cause of the liberation of the Southern Cameroons. They are committed and focused on the liberation, and then they are productive. You see the results that they are bringing forth, and they demonstrate there's a certain cohesion, and and most especially, you don't see a lot of infighting amongst themselves. No, I don't think there is just one unit or they are under a single command, but you see them demonstrating the fact that they understand what their purpose in this struggle is. They are demonstrating that they know who their enemy is, and they are pointing their sticks against the enemy. And they carry out patriotic activities that go to reinforce the fact that we are now a separate country from La République du Cameroon. They have demonstrated in every way that they have nothing, absolutely nothing to do with La République du Cameroon, and they are taking over and controlling their territory. They are not just coming in, running around, doing this and doing that. They are actually taking and controlling their territory and making sure that the law and order is maintained. That is what we want from all of our forces. And I just want to highlight this example, not to say that our other restoration fighters are not doing a good job, but I'm just saying that they have taken it a step further and had demonstrating how it should be done. How it should be done. Discipline, protecting our citizens, not victimizing our citizens, not extorting from our citizens, and then taking the fight to the enemy. That is the way it should be done, and we should encourage that. So again, I want to doff my hat to the Bali Buffaloes for a job well done, and I'll encourage our other groups on the ground to follow that example and make Amazonia proud. I would like to bring in at this point. I would like to bring in my guest, my first guest, Reverend Michael. Can you are you there, Reverend
Yeah,
Michael? Are
good
you there?
afternoon, good evening. I'm there.
Okay.
Can you get me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I
Can
can
you
hear
get
you five
me?
on five. Yeah, I can
All
hear you.
right.
All right,
I want to say
yeah. Why don't you
special
just
greetings
say
to
hello?
Amazonia.
All right.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I'm going to say Abela to the Nkwen people and
All
hello,
right.
Amazonians. Love you. Today is a very special day. So get your brothers and sisters tuned to ABS, for you are going to have a time of
Of your life.
celebration, recognition of special duty done by our restoration forces at the home.
All
And
right.
Boya is at hand. Thank
Yes.
you, Chairman.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. It's a pleasure having you on the panel today with me. And as you heard me saying, I was just commending what I see as the exemplary behavior or performance of the Bavli Buffaloes. It is time that we start recognizing these our fighters for what they are doing and showing the example to others of how they ought to conduct themselves. So, given that we saw the images that were just shown on the screen recently, just a few minutes ago, of the Bali buffaloes, again extending and demonstrating that this is our land and we are determined to take it. What do you have to say about the Bali buffaloes, Reverend Michael? Can you hear me? Reverend Michael, you seem frozen. I think Reverend Michael is frozen. I'll give him some time to come back. Maybe if you can log log off and then log back on, that should be fine. Reverend Michael was just frozen there. I was just talking about the Bali Buffaloes again, about the exemplary performance they are giving us and making Ambazonia proud, not just by fighting La Republic, but by making sure that there's law and order within their territory. And I was just encouraging every other group out there, and a lot of groups are doing a great job, I should say. Okay, good to have you back. Good to have you back. And if you are able to speak, you can go ahead and just say a word about what I've been talking about, the Bali Buffaloes, and how our restoration fighters ought to conduct themselves in this war of liberation.
Oh, thank you, Chairman Mike. It is a commendable thing to, to recognize the discipline exhibited by the buffaloes of Bali.
Mm.
That is what we call team spirit.
Exactly.
And we say this is giving you a lot of credibility with the community. They are setting a pace, and we're just citing the buffaloes of Bali, and we know others have been doing well. So it is time for reckoning. There is nothing you do under the sun that goes without a reward, either
Yes.
positive or negative. So we really, really appreciate the team spirit exhibited by the buffaloes of Bali, and gaining grounds and taking grounds and pointing at our oppressor and nothing more. This is a wonderful spirit to commend, and I know everybody tuned to ABS this day is full of thanksgiving to Grandpa, Evan Grandpa, and the rest of them, to name a few. Look at the flying colors of our nation right there in public, no longer in the hiding. These are messages that are needed in times like this, so that sooner than later we go to the ground. We go back home to Boya, and today is a day to motivate your spirit so that fellow restoration forces, wherever you are fighting and defending homeland, we just appreciate you. You are just excellent. And we know that when you aim for excellence, as the military force is a disciplinary, I mean a disciplined vocation, you will make us proud. And so we're there to assure you of our unfailing support. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Just to again add to what is contributing to the cohesion and the productivity of the buffaloes. I think one element is the fact that the absence of conflict amongst them. I wouldn't say the absence of conflict, but rather the proper management of conflicts, because you will realize that there are a lot of our fighting groups on the ground that have been very successful in the past. But for some reason, for the fact that there have been some differences of opinion amongst maybe the generals or some commanders, and they start arguing among themselves and fighting among themselves, it takes their focus from the enemy, and then it distracts them, and before you know it, some of them even start pointing their tools against each other. That affects their productivity, because instead of focusing on the enemy, you are wondering who else is now aiming at you. And that has caused a lot of havoc amongst our fighters. And I suspect that the Republic of Cameroon is partly engineering this, because before this little conflict started arising amongst our fighters, we were actually taking the fight to the enemy. And then we saw all the results we had late 2021 or mid 2021. And then the enemy realizes and started sending people within our fighting forces, putting black legs, putting enablers in there to stir up conflict among themselves. And by so doing, they got distracted, especially with the influence of the ADF, which we know is yet to demonstrate that it is in this fight to fight La Republic. I think most of the times, as recently as last week, we had reports of the ADF attacking civilians, I think in Kugwe, and they even killed a soldier in Bui. So these are some of the problems that are really affecting the productivity of some of these groups. If they can put in place a proper conflict management mechanism, I think it will help them a lot to minimize these conflicts and keep the focus on La Republic. Because these things are engineered by La Republic, because they are now afraid of our fighters. They cannot face our fighters. And the only way now is to come in and use our own very people to be fighting amongst themselves while they are out there committing atrocities against our civilian population. So I just want you to share your own thoughts about this problem and how we can come out of it.
Well, thank you once again, Chairman Mike. The Buffaloes of Bali, in fact, must be commended for the team spirit, and especially that action of intervention, where you see them move out of their zone to Batibo or the neighborhood in order to lend reinforcement to the other fighting forces, and then to come back. And they say, we are not here to compromise. If you change tomorrow, if you are trust breakers, no, we are standing to fight for the freedom of Amazonia. This spirit really touches my heart. This is a selfless kind of spirit that, with that kind of intention, since nobody is infallible, you can accept that it just peradventure there was something, you will know that the intentions have been very clear, just to help and to keep us, to give us the victory. Nothing more. When people sacrifice themselves as such, it is only but normal to accept. And those that the buffaloes of Bali are lending help to must also, copy this example. We need to hear this example copied in Momo, in Mogamo, in the neighborhoods of Mankan, Quen, and the rest. Bafut, you just mentioned the 7 katas. These people were just doing marvelous, just giving a very, very heavy blow to, to the La Republic forces. Because they were actually at the mouth of the weaponry of the Republic of Cameroon, loaded at the airport. People don't know what Buffalo, what sorry, let me just go to that, what the 7 cartels of Bafut have been going through. Just at the mouth where the concentration of all the military force plus naval, plus air force systems are based.
Yes.
This is where these people have been fighting. So if these buffaloes of Bali continue, and then we ourselves know that we have a lone oppressor who is not our brother, who is not our sister, then we, the population, will be able to lend our own support by protecting them, and those other forces must not put the question marks that ADF has left in this struggle for this time. It is sad to say that, but as we continue to expect people to come up to bring fruits of their sacrifice or of their determination to free a homeland, we expect that there is going to be this love for nation first. If we show love for the nation first, then no amount of money brought by our oppressor will be able to make us to sell the locations of our fighters, or to ever turn our gun, our sticks against our brothers. You will never ever give out your granules or for the life of your fighting brother to be taken down. No.
And just to follow through on what you mentioned there about selling your brother or selling the struggle for money. Let me just remind those of us watching, and especially our fighters. Nambere came, and we had all this brouhaha about him having so many millions, right? They deceived him. I can assure you that even what Nambere was promised was never paid. They took him and confined him in Yaoundé or wherever he was, and I think he tried escaping once before, did not succeed, until finally he has succeeded. If that does not teach you a lesson, there is no amount of money that La Republic will give you that can replace your own freedom, because whatever amount of money they give you will soon finish. Or they will promise you, but they will not even pay it. And then you will be in their trap. You will now be in their trap. First of all, what kind of money can they give you that will replace the freedom of your own people, your own dignity as a free Ambazonian, with the opportunities that abound in Ambazonia? The best thing is for us to focus, free our homeland. Like the saying goes, you cannot go depending on someone to give you a fish every day. It is better for you to be empowered enough to catch your own fish. When you go taking from La Republic, every day you go and you're depending on them. It is better that you have your own country. You can determine how much you can make and to support yourself instead of being a beggar every day. I think those days are over, and Ambazonians have taken back their country, their dignity, and we are moving forward to affirm the declaration of our independence that was declared in 2017. So let us tilt now to another group that did well just recently. We have not been able to have any images from the ribbons of Mbonge, but we have had a confirmation that they carried out an action which dealt a huge blow to the criminal and illegal occupational forces of La Republique du Cameroon in Mbonge. And the ribbons made us proud, and we say, great job, the ribbons of Boge. And I would like to know if Chairman Asam is
Yes.
on, so we can bring him to tell us exactly what happened and the results of that attack. Is Chairman Asam on now, please? Chairman Asam, are you there? I don't know if Chairman Asam is here. I may, if not, I may have to see if I can give him a call. Even if he can give us, maybe, let me see if I can call Chairman Hassan.
Okay.
I think he's not been able to sign on yet. I'm trying to reach Chairman Hassan. I hope I can get him so he can give us an account of what happened in Bongay. I think it was 2 days ago. If Chairman Hassan is not there, we will move on with the rest of the program and maybe try to reach him again later on in the show. Now, when we are talking about the responsibilities of our fighters, I would like for us to talk about the post-war reassignment of our fighters, because some people don't understand that after this war, we will have to assess the performance of each group, and then we have to assign each fighter based on their performance, their discipline, their commitment, and all that. So personally, I believe that after this war is over and we get to Boya, what is going to happen is that every fighter, because right now that you are doing your job defending the homeland, those within your locality where you are fighting, they are observing you and seeing how you are working. Are you defending the people, or are you victimizing the people? Are you kidnapping people, or you are fighting against La République du Cameroon? So when the time will come, when the war is over, a commission will be set up that will assess all the fighters, and you will be assigned or reassigned based on your performance, maybe your capability, your abilities, your rank at the time of the war ending. And then one very huge factor will be your conduct. How were you behaving when you were a soldier? Because we will not have any gendarme, of course. We have the military, we have maybe the Marines, and we have the Air Force, right? There may be other branches like the Secret Service, intelligence, and all that stuff. So you will be assigned based on your own intelligence ability, and some people will be retrained for other activities. But whether or not you will be able to join the Amazonian military, your conduct will be a huge factor. I just want to emphasize on this so that those who are out there now doing whatever they want should understand that when the time will come, when others are being integrated into the Amazonian military, your behavior, your conduct may prevent you from joining the Amazonian military. You may be a very good fighter, very well, but if you have a tendency of kidnapping, of molesting our citizens, that may be a disqualifier for you. So, Reverend Michael, what do you have to say to this idea?
You are just in order, Chairman Mike. You are very much in order. It is good for me to pass this assurance to restoration fighters that we are soon going to actualize our victory and get the enemy out of our territory. After this is done, you will be awarded or rewarded. There will be a continuous army or military of the Amazonian nation. And for some people to get surprised, I want to draw your attention to scriptures, because it's not for nothing that God allowed that his servants should be in this struggle to enlighten us and even the Christians. Christians know first is that the Bible says in Galatians chapter 6 that whatever a man sows, he shall reap the same. For God cannot be mocked. And then in 2 Timothy chapter 2, it talks about soldiers. Just listen to that. 2 Timothy chapter 2. It says, no soldier gets involved in civilian affairs. The soldier's aim is to please his commanding officer. Because after the war, there is going to be, settlement. And then I must also add here that there is this thing that is called the Geneva Convention on War. There are rules and regulations that are involved in warfare that if you break them, they will say you are guilty of war crimes. So we do not want our Amazonian soldiers to ever be guilty of war crimes, because it will not be the Amazonian nation that will be prosecuting you. It will be the International Criminal Court of Justice and the rest of that. This is not to intimidate you. This is to say, adjust, discipline yourselves, and don't emulate any bad example. That is why they struggle to see that there can be a dollar, a penny here to check on your well-being before we actually get the real things. So before the real things come for reward, where you'll be positioned and classed from one grade to another to the rest, all of you cannot be called field marshals at the same time. But you are doing work. So yes, that issue of chain of command and that issue of the discipline for the nation is very, very important. Know that greater days, better days are ahead. It will not be this situation where people are tagging you as terrorists. You are not terrorists. No. You are defending a nation that was recognized by the United Nations, and there were only some tricky stuff that came between us and the Republic of Cameroon, where we're supposed to be in equal status. They tried to obliterate, to wipe out our police, to do this and that. So as we are restoring this, know that you will soon come out and you will be in the cities, in the barracks, in the various counties and local government areas.
Yes,
in such a time as that, you shall not be afraid or ashamed to come out to the public, and your coronation will be in recognition to the services that you have been paying to the nation in times like this. Thank you.
Exactly. When I named all the branches that they may be assigned to, I forgot the police. There will also be the police and other units. So just to add to what we are discussing about here, when you look at the behavior of some of those on the ground who call themselves maybe generals or whatever, and especially those under the ADF, I'm here referring to EFAM. EFAM should be very careful because he thinks that he is beyond reach. But the time will come. There are people who ran away from the Rwandan genocide. They ran to the United States. And just of recent, some of them were arrested here and sent back. So when you are committing war atrocities, you rest assured that you will pay one day. If not during this war, after the war, you are going to pay for it. Because you cannot go around, instead of fighting against the enemy, you are molesting our own very citizens, you are torturing them, you are even killing some of them. That is unacceptable. So this is a stern warning to those whom the ADF has been sponsoring and sending to molest and kill our own people. The time will come when you will give an account of your actions. The time will come when you will pay. So, and anyone else out there who is not obeying the code of conduct of our restoration fighters and is instead molesting our people, you too will be held accountable. So there's time for people to repent. People can make mistakes, people can realize their mistakes, and they can change. I'm calling on these people. If they know that they have been going down the wrong path, the time for redemption is now. The time for repentance is now. If you wait much longer, it may be too late for you. We know how others who had this same behavior, we know how they ended. So I don't want to belabor this point, but those of you who are doing a great job, continue to do a great job. Continue defending your homeland. Continue protecting your brothers, your sisters, your mothers, your fathers. When you see them being molested by La Republic of Cameroon, it is your job to defend them. That is why you are there. That is why we picked up sticks and cutlasses when they started breaking into doors and molesting our people. Copy the example of the Marshal of the BLM. How many times have we heard people from the BLM complaining against him, about him for molesting them? No, that is an example of a seasoned soldier, someone who knows what he wants. And he knows who his enemy is. His soldiers, and that is the job of a commander, is not just to do a good job, but to maintain discipline within the ranks of his soldiers. A general must be able to maintain discipline within the ranks of his soldiers. It is your responsibility. The most important thing within a military is discipline. Without discipline, because these are people who are holding dangerous tools. Without discipline, bad things can happen. So you must be able to demonstrate discipline, control, and focus on the mission, which is the liberation of the Southern Cameroons. Anything to add to that, Reverend Mark?
Yes, I would like to add here by saying that General of the ADF that we just showed now, he should really show a sign of great change, owing at least to the recent collaboration agreement reconciliatory meeting that they just had with the restoration fighters. He must, it's just incumbent on him and his people to show that great change. If General Efang doesn't show that change now, it will not suffice for us to always say, no, because as we are here, Chairman Mike, is it not true that if it were General Efang's group that did the best fighting this day, this award will go to them?
Of course.
That is the truth. So we are here to encourage people who are fighting for the independence and defending our citizens, because when they say if a soldier's greatest desire is to please his commanding officer, your commanding officer is not one president that is sitting in diaspora. Your commanding officer is the masses, are the people on ground that you are defending. So let everybody know that when you expose these soldiers that are defending you, you are selling yourself and your family or your brother or your sister. Let the people have a joy that they can sleep in the bush for 1 more month because of you, because of your freedom. Let them have a determination that they can stay in the bush for 5 months or a year because of your freedom, and at the end of the day, they are free and you are free. Don't pray that they die in the bush, get them to die in the... This is no time to bring any revenge, any odds that you had against one another. Those odds can be settled in prayer. Those odds can be settled in family meetings. Those odds can be settled in village and inter-village council decisions. Not handing your brother or your sister over to enemy forces to track them and kill. And then let us know that it is very critical at this moment Too many people have lost their lives. Too many people have lost their family members. Too many people have lost their means of livelihood. So it is not good to give false accusations. It's not good to discourage a people who are ready to defend your land, who are ready to defend the rest of your family. It is not even good for our neighbors, the Republic of Cameroon, to think that they will continue to murder and to kill people and expect that they will intimidate people into fear. They will not win that kind of a war. The Lord who sits on high is seeing that the voice of the voiceless, the cry of the oppressed has reached his nostrils, and he will do extraordinarily to bring victory to the Amazonian nation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. I would like to make this plea to our restoration fighters, our generals and field marshals. To Field Marshal Ten Kobo, the field marshal or the field marshal, the king of Amazonia, field marshal, uh, 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 no pity, field marshal Insubu, field marshal Okoro. I don't know who I'm forgetting. All of them. Grandpa of Bali, field marshal Grandpa of Bali. All of you out there with the potential and the ability to defend the Amazonian territory. My plea to you is this: work together, take care of each other, protect each other, collaborate with each other, share intelligence with each other. You are your brother's keeper. If you understand this and focus on this, there's nothing La Republic can do to you, any of you. Nothing. You have beaten them already, and they are just hanging in there because you continue to get distracted. So I'm calling on you to refocus. Stay on the mission of defending your people and defending your territory. The land is your land. It is yours to take and manage and control. Do not allow little squabbles between yourselves to distract you. Whatever differences you have amongst yourselves, call your brother, discuss, solve them amicably, break a kola nut and share it, and let peace reign amongst you. That is how you ought to operate. You are not your own brother's enemy. The enemy is across the Mongo. They are called La République du Cameroon. Those are the people that have been pillaging our resources, extorting us, and insulting us, and exerting our people under this unnecessary poverty and poor infrastructure and humiliation and insults for almost 60 years now. It is not any of us. I know there are some amongst us who are enabling them. People who leave our territory go and hide there because they have no shame. They have no sense of patriotism. They have no sense of pride. People like the John Gutes, Peter Mafanis, even the Nijon Frus, who once made us believe that he was fighting for us. Now he's hiding under the garments of dictator, the pissing Paul here. These are people who have disgraced us. You know all of them, the Golen Goles, all of them. These are people who rather sell their own fathers and mothers for a few pieces of silver. We have the responsibility of restoring the dignity of the people of the southern Cameroons, and you, the fighters on the ground, are at the forefront. So I'm calling on you to let go of these little differences between yourselves that are making you to be distracted and not to be focused on the mission of the liberation of our homeland. I hope that you listen. I hope you do. So now I would like for us to move on with other items of the show, which is concerns another kind of war, because we have been talking of war, and most of the times we think about the physical open war, which involves the killings or the destruction of property and all the like. There is a war that has been going on in the southern Cameroons ever since we came together with La République du Cameroon. And this is an economic war. I would like for us, the technician, to play us a video of a clear manifestation of the impact of this war, this economic war, in one region of our country. A region where people actually get up every morning at 5 a.m. in the morning and they go to work. But when you see where they live, it brings back the memories of the slave quarters of yesteryears. I'm here referring to
Miselele camp, CDC camp, rubber plantation. Well, it reminds one of the days of slavery. Slaves taken across the Atlantic from Africa to the West Indies and the Americas. This depicts Trench Town in Jamaica. Life is same, livelihood is same, and you can see the nature of the roads. I mean, Trench Town, Jamaica in the 60s. That's where we are today, as you can see. This is Miselele in Cameroon, Southwest region. These shacks that you are seeing that's where the workers live, and it's like the slavery is still unabolished in Cameroon. You can see this is Miselele. Yep, there it is. Yeah, Miselele camp.
Yes, I would like to have those images running in the background, because it's good to have the visuals of what we are talking about. So, Reverend Michael, just take a look at these images, fellow ambassadors. Take a look at this. This is Miselele CDC camp, which implies that this is where the workers of CDC live, and they go to work every morning. 5 a.m., they're out, they go out and they work till late in the evening, and they are brought back. And this is where they live. This is their living quarters. I want all of us to just imagine ourselves that this is where you are condemned to live the rest of your days here on earth, in these shacks. Now, if a shack is, if your living house, it looks like this, what would your toilet look like? And where would pigs live? Because it looks more like, it is worse than where pigs live in other countries, or chicken, these shacks. And this is where people who actually are fully employed by the CDC. This is the predicament of their life. Look at the pool of water sitting right there. And you know the southern zone is a humid environment. Imagine the mosquitoes that are in those pools of water. And look at the house. And that house cannot stop the mosquitoes from getting in, because you can see the holes in the walls. Some of the roofs are, I think, are even touched. And these are people who get up every morning. They go to work like the rest of us. But what they bring in is nothing. It is nothing. It's not enough to even sustain a single person. Not to talk of someone who has maybe a family of 2 or 3 or 4. How can you live in this environment? and you aspire, you have hope that tomorrow will be better. So before, I just wanted to share your thoughts about this, Reverend Michael.
This is really disheartening. In fact, when you just look behind what lies behind these thatch houses, is the agricultural strength, the economic strength that makes the aggressor, the slave master, to continue to enslave us till today. Look at rubber, look at palm, look at all of those. And these people continue to work as slaves in the 21st century. And you say nobody should speak. This, what we call CDC, is not Cameroon Development Corporation. It is Commonwealth Development Corporation for Southern Cameroons. How did Southern Cameroonians tend to become slaves under French Cameroon slave masters and France? It is time, as you look at this, that you should see that when somebody is in this kind of a situation, they actually need freedom. There is something that is called sick houses. If you remember,
Yeah.
before now, the government will take a portion of land, and then they'll do housing structures, good housing, and then get people to live there at a minimum cost. What more of people who are working, that are giving their energy, the father, the mother, the children, that are just walking around there like goods that are tied, that can never go, out of the nation. And this is what they see. Just like you're saying, just a month's wages or production can tar these roads, what we call farm to market roads. These are industrial areas. These are supposed to be industrial areas that heavy duty vehicles, trucks are always plying the road, because that's what cuts these materials away. And you want us to sit quiet, and you think it's an abomination, and then upon that they term us terrorists in our territory. No, it is not correct. It is not. It is time we see that these people need liberation. Many of those people that they single them out and give them ministerial positions and fly them out to attend government or international programs overseas. They live in sophisticated houses, attend meetings in sophisticated structures, and come back, and they don't take a replica of one to improve on the land that is feeding the whole nation. Because of this economic strength of Southern Cameroons, French Cameroon, Republic of Cameroon, have suppressed and subjugated you and me to the state. I mean, our lives, if people's domiciles can be like this, the market is just there. That's also the market.
Yeah,
Can you ever dream of a mall? Can you ever dream of a shopping mall in this place? I mean, your little things that you do to trade, are they, if they were really thieves, is there anything that can deter a thief from breaking through to steal things? So it's a life that is a total risk, that is needing defense, that is needing protection, that is needing liberation. And the rest of the world cannot continue to be seeing these things. We are not happy to present this, but these are the kinds of pictures that people use to say Cameroon or Africa as a continent is a bush, and people who live there are animals and monkeys. It is time we know that this liberation struggle is a no-return struggle. We must be liberated. And if we're going to continue to wait for some minister, some psychophant who has been given a ministerial post or a gubernatorial post and parliamentary post in the Republic of Cameroon to come one day and bring you the development that you need, then bring you the freedom that you need, then you are deceived, because those people are already deceived. they know that there's more than enough for each Southern Cameroonian Amazonian if we were going to handle our economy and develop ourselves. And that is what this interim government will do for us.
And just to follow through with these images again, when you look at the roofs of these houses, you realize that these are not like new houses. These houses have been existing for decades, to the point where
Correct.
some of the roofing sheets are so rusted that they had to replace some of them. You see the other one back there is like brown, and you have a few spotted new ones that may have been installed to replace some that were so damaged. That tells you that there have been generations of people living in these houses, moving out, and others coming in. Why I'm pointing this out is just to identify the point that it's not like there's hope for tomorrow, for a better tomorrow. No, this situation has been going on for so long. You cannot hope that in 5 years or 10 years or so things are going to change. No, things are not going to change, and that is why we are in this war. That is why we are in this war, because if we do not fight to change this situation, it is going to remain like this for the next 50, 100 years again. It is not for the lack of money. It is not for the lack of money. We remember that we remember when we saw pictures of money that was stolen by some ministers. We saw those bags of money. The other one we saw was a whole big room full of money, where when they were coming to arrest them for the embezzlement and illegal storage of this money, the wife of this so-called minister tried to set the money on fire.
Yeah, I think there was Len Mebengo.
Yeah, some of it was burnt, some of it, and most of it stayed. How is it that in a country, a single minister will be able to steal that much money, and yet there are people who have been working, toiling away their lives, and living under these conditions, and you expect that tomorrow will be better? The problem is that of a culture of corruption, mismanagement, embezzlement. That is, there's no chance of it changing tomorrow, because the very people who are responsible for this are insisting that they must remain in power. I'm here referring to the Paul Biya regime, where he is fading away. Oh, he has faded away because he basically does not know what is existing in this world anymore. There are others who are in control, and they have already put in place someone who will replace him. And the person who have been put in place to replace him is someone whose best accomplishment is corruption. The best thing we know Ngongo for is that he's a thief. That's the best thing we know Ngongo for. So if Ngongo takes over tomorrow, how can you expect that there will be any positive change? So I'm not even talking to those of us who know that we are already. I'm talking to those who are still sitting on the fence and hoping that maybe tomorrow, there's no change that will make tomorrow better. We have to win this war or we are doomed. That's it. That's it. We either we win or we are doomed, because the future under La Republic is bleak. It's dark. There's no hope for the future. So I just want us to understand, and to compound this thing, I don't know. Let's just imagine what is the average salary of a CDC worker? Can someone right here? How much does a CDC worker earn a month? Does anyone know? Just let us know how much you think they make a month. Is it maybe 50,000 colonial francs? And it pains me just mentioning that currency, because I know that is one of the reasons we are in this predicament. We are suffering like this because they give you this worthless currency called CFA franc, which francs itself, that was the master of this franc, has left the franc. France itself is not even using the franc. They abandoned it. They are now using the euro. But they have compelled African countries to continue using this worthless piece of paper called the CFA franc. The CFA franc is not money. It's a devalued a piece of paper from the French treasury. You cannot take this. You cannot take this. You cannot take the CFA franc to any international bank and it will be changed for you, and they will exchange it for you. If you take it there, it will not be recognized. I think we saw one guy in France who took it to one of their banks and they refused to change it. And he was saying, why are you refusing to change it when you are the ones printing these things for us? You are printing this worthless paper for us, and now I'm bringing it to your bank to change it for me, and you don't want to change it. And that is true, because that's not real money. The franc CFA that you hold there is not real money. It's just something that the French treasury prints out for African countries. That's not real money. So we need to know that. So you have people working, toiling away their lives for a CDC company that is producing wealth. Fellow Amazonians, there's money coming out of CDC, but look at the people responsible for producing that money. They are living in a squalor, in abject poverty and misery. This is pure slavery. Your final thoughts on this, so we can move on, Reverend Michael.
That is it. Thank you so much, Chairman. You know, the thing that our Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians might not have understood is this issue. This is really the core of the slavery. If we could understand and drive it home that these little Southern Cameroons that Paul Biya confessed during that peace treaty in Paris, yes, France, that he struggled for over 50-something years to assimilate these people and did not succeed. So he was trying to give whatever status to them. The real secret is that Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia produces 60% of the GPT of all the world of the what you should call the Republic of Cameroon. Meaning, therefore, that if our boundaries are respected as frozen at the independence of La République de Cameroon in 1960 and Southern Cameroon's 1961, French Cameroon will still be, kind of dependent on Southern Cameroons for economic boost. So why do we think that we must mortgage the future of Southern Cameroonians for some small ministerial posts in the La République of Cameroon? Why equally should some Ambazonians who truly know that we are fighting for nothing but for the total restoration and reactivation of our independence turn and tag us as La République agents and sellouts? Do they think we are mad like they to go and become slaves to the Republic of Cameroon that has 40% of what controls their 80% French-speaking Cameroon? No. So I would like to end by saying that economists of Southern Cameroons, arise, of Africa, arise. Agriculturalists, arise. Our engineers, arise and emulate the example of the Ambazonian restoration fighters in the likes of Field Marshal, the King of Ambazonia in Libya, who left La République military, like Grandpa or Babila of Bali, like Field Marshal No Pity, and the rest. Let us see how we can help actualize our independence. just like you said, the chairman, Asong from Mbonge, is not here, but we will not fail to put our last word to accept that the ribbons of Mbonge did an excellent job just a few days ago, and we are
Yes.
appreciative of that wonderful effort. Continue, and let it happen like this all over the southern Cameroons. There's a heavy cry that is coming from Donga and Mantum because much has been released. Just early this morning, arms have been put in the hands of Fulanis to slaughter our fellow Amazonians so that they can, continue to loot our property. May this sink deep in our minds, that any little thing that will give us a stimulant today to recognize your wonderful efforts should motivate your spirit to, redouble your efforts and let this cry end sooner than the slave master thought. The slave master actually thought it was going to end in 2 weeks, never knowing that we were going to stand our grounds. You have stood your ground. Do not allow any distraction. Do not allow any corruption enter your bloodline or your war zone or your war line, be it at the local government area, at the county, or at the nation as a whole. We have one nation, one flag to defend. Thank you very much, Chairman of
Thank you, Reverend Michael. I think when I ask the question, what is the salary of an average CDC worker? And I saw some responses here, and somewhere like 30,000 colonial francs, and somewhere like 37,000 colonial francs. Just imagine that an average family of maybe a wife and 2 kids, and your monthly salary is 30 or 37. Let's round it to 40,000 francs a month. What can you do with that amount? Are you going to pay rent with that amount? Are you going to buy food? Are you going to clothe yourself with that? Are you going to pay medical bills with that? Are you going to pay for your child's education with that kind of money? What can you do with 40,000 francs as a family in 1 month? What can you do with that kind of money? And just imagine the productivity of this person. If you were to pay this person to evaluate what this person contributes to CDC in 1 month, and then compare it to what they actually take home, this is pure slavery. This is pure slavery. So I just want us, but the question is this: when we look at why the Republic does not want to let us go, well, is it because they love us so much? Do they really love us so much that they don't want to lose us? No. It's because of what they are taking from us, and they have been taking from us. They call us Anglophiles because they've been exploiting us for so long, and we did not rise up until recently. So they said, oh, these people are so foolish. We will just keep using them. They are Anglophiles. And that is why we have been in this situation for so long. And if we let go this time and we don't finalize this struggle and take back our territory, and if we allow ourselves to be dragged back into the cage, they will make sure that that cage is fortified so we never again escape. That is what is going to happen. So let's understand what is at stake here. It's just like you have a chicken that you're housing somewhere, and the chicken managed to squeeze through a hole and escape. When you go back, won't you make sure that hole is closed so that chicken never escapes again? That is exactly what they will do to us. They will make sure that we never again have the opportunity to rise up. There will be a gendarme and a police headquarters every few meters. You have someone there monitoring you, checking you. You want to go up, they check you. You want to come down, they check you. And you play the listing, they brutalize you, kill you. And especially our boys will be an endangered species. They will be targeted for extinction. And especially those who are already holding stakes now, they will be hunted down and eliminated. So we cannot let go this time. We have to finalize this thing. That is why it is important that we understand that there are no differences we have between ourselves that are as important as winning this battle against La Republique du Cameroon. I don't know how else I can emphasize this. But our future, the future of our children, our children's children, depend on what we do today. So, why I brought this very element today is because going forward, we will have a segment on the war zone asking, how did we get here? We will always have to go back to answer the question, how we got into this war. What predicated this war? The reasons why we are in this war today are because of the injustices from La République du Cameroon, the failed promises, the breach of the constitution, which stated that we must always have the federal structure of government between ourselves and La République du Cameroon. But they dealt away with it because they realized that we had a lot of resources on our soil and they wanted those resources engineered and coached by France, so they can take these resources away and keep our citizens in camps like animals, like the one we just saw in Meselele, caging our people like animals and stealing our resources. And there are people amongst us, those who call themselves elites, who look at this and say it's okay. They look at it and say it's okay. It is not okay, Amazonians. It is wrong. It is wrong, and we must all rise up against it. We have to rise up against it. So, fellow Amazonians, we will go to the highlight of this show. We will go to the highlight of the show, which will be the crowning of the most productive fighting force on ground zero for the month of March. The country and regional coordinators who have donated this trophy, the trophy you see here, was donated by the country and regional coordinators. And I presented this trophy before on this show. And this trophy carries a cash prize of 1 million ambers. It carries a cash prize of 1 million ambers. You can see the trophy. It has in it engraven Most Productive Fighting Force Monthly Award. And it says Ambazonia Restoration Fighters. So this is just a gesture of appreciation to our restoration fighters for the effort that they are putting to make sure that our homeland is truly free. And we cannot thank you enough for what you are doing. We encourage you as well. We are urging you not to fight amongst yourselves. Focus on the enemy. When you focus on the enemy, we will take our land sooner than later, and you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded. You will be the military operators in that country. It is not for any of us out here. No. I personally am not in the struggle because of anything. I have everything I need right now. But when I sit and I call home and you find people reaching out to you, you have friends calling you, you have family calling you, you have acquaintances calling you for help. And there is only so much that those of us here can give that will balance out the need for each person to be able to earn for themselves, to support themselves and their own families. You cannot depend on handouts and survive. That is why it is important that the playing field be leveled so that you will be able to earn your own living. I cannot support you enough to be self-sufficient to take care of your family. But if we can bring the situation, regularize the situation, and provide opportunities for people to earn their own livings without depending on handouts, that is all we want. So it is your job to do your job, to do your due diligence, carry out your responsibility as an Ambazonian restoration fighter, defending the territory, protecting your people. And when you do that, we will recognize you and honor you, not just now, but for the future. So I don't know if I said anything I'm supposed to say. And of course, the criteria for winning this award are these. You have to be dedicated to the liberation of the territory of the Southern Cameroons. You have to be dedicated, focused on the mission of the freedom of the Southern Cameroons. You have to be disciplined. Yes, you have to be disciplined. You cannot be one who is going around causing havoc on the very people you are supposed to be protecting. So you have to be disciplined. And you have to make sure that you protect our citizens. You have to protect our citizens. And lastly, of course, you have to take the fight to the enemy and show results. I don't know if I missed anything, Reverend Michael. If I missed anything, can you fill in, please?
No, you are in order, our able chairman. We just want to say thank you to our country and regional coordinators for seeing that this dream comes to see the light of day today, and that it is going to continue monthly. Now, just like we said earlier, the area of discipline is most important in any military force the world over. And in the portion of Bible I just read from 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse number 5 says, no athlete is given the victor's crown unless he competes according to the rules. So these are the rules of the game. We have one enemy, and the enemy is the one who has violated our territorial sovereignty, our neighbor, the Republic of Cameroon. You have already said it, Chairman. Take the battle to the enemy's camp.
Exactly.
Push the enemy out of your camp. Defend the people of the land. It is not correct that if they see La Republique military, they run. They also see you who are defending them, they also run. No.
They run, yeah.
And then maximize the opportunities and the weapons and the granules and the corn, the popcorns, and ingenuity. Do see how much we can be accountable. Accountability is one of the reasons why we are still here now. If we are accountable with anything that is entrusted in our hands, Luke chapter 16 verse 10 it says, he that is faithful in that which is least will be faithful in much also. So it deserves to be entrusted much. This is what we are counting on you. Like I said earlier, a soldier doesn't get entangled with civilian affairs because that's where vulnerability comes, where you can easily be betrayed. So concentrate on that. Let us get the victory. Let us get the results. And then when you do some things that will bring result, think about the aftermath. Let the strategies be that when you get results, they should not come and, the counter attack should not destroy more than what you have brought in as a result. This is war tactics that we are giving out here. So thank you. We will say much behind, but you have said it all, Chairman. I just added this, that just continue to love and do not allow the enemy don't abandon your wounded soldier in the hands of the enemy. Thank you.
Okay.
That is where
thank you, Michael.
Lockouts.
Yes, thank you for those words of encouragement and at least guiding our fighters to be really focused on the mission. Like I was saying, this is going to be a monthly award, which implies that even if you did not get this one, this is for the month of, this one is for the month of March. So you just have to get yourself together, do the right things, and by the end of this month of April, it could be your turn. If you don't get for the month of April, May could be your turn. This is something that is ongoing. So just get yourself together. You can collect, depending on your performance, you can collect as many as possible throughout the duration of this struggle. And the criteria is not too rigid on the most. If you are an up and coming group that maybe previously you were not opportune to do a great job, and you are up and coming, and you are showing evidence that you are a force to be reckoned with, you too will be recognized. And in fact, we are trying to see if there will be the possibility of raising more funds to support this initiative. And the next time we come on, I will have some account information to share here, which if there are people out there who want to support this initiative, you can chip into that account so that we can increase maybe even the amount in the cup, and then we can even put in place maybe a second or a third prize. Why not? So that we spread it so that there are more forces to benefit from it. That would be a good thing. So this is just the beginning. There are more opportunities for you to have your own trophy. We don't know who the winner of today. When the winner is announced, we will know who is next. So, Reverend Michael, are we ready for the announcement? I think we are. I think we are ready for the announcement. So, this is the climax of the show. The winner was selected by a commission that was chosen by the country and regional coordinators, and they selected the winner based on the best performance for the month of March, as we have said. The best performance for the month of March. So we are about to see who performed best here. Let me open the package and take out the winner. Okay. Okay. And the winner is, are you ready? The winner for the month of March will be the Expendables of Jan, are the winners of the MPFF trophy for the month of March. We acknowledge the Expendables of Jan for the marvelous job that they did. I don't know if our technician can show all the images of what the Expendables of Jan did that earned them this award. I don't know if the technician has those images you can share with us, just so that we recognize exactly what they did that earned them this award. So again, kudos to the Expendables of Jan. You will have 1 million ambers coming to you, and we will contact your hierarchy and make sure you have it directly. It's coming to you directly. No intermediaries. Will come to you directly. The Expendable 100 of Jan, you have won the 1 million Amber Award for the month of March. And who will be next? That is the big question. Who will be next? Will it be the Warriors of Uri? Will it be the Marines of Bokutija? Will it be who else? The Seven Qatars? Will it be the Buffaloes of Bali? Who will be next? We will be watching, and we will be taking note of your activities and recording, and making sure that the records are straight. And at the end of April, we'll be right here again on ABS TV to announce the next winner. So, what are your thoughts about what the Expendables did, Reverend Michael?
It was just a very exceptional victory. It was exceptional what our Expendables of Indian did. You can see that number, that was a heavy catch, very, very laudable, and was a mighty welcome to our first ever female president. So this day, we want to say we cannot thank you, Expendables of India, enough with FM 10 Kobo. Thank you. We do our heart for you, and we're gonna see better days in this new month of April.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's unfortunate that I think the show will come to the end here. It's unfortunate that we were not able to have Chairman Assam with us today, but at least we also recognize, as we've already mentioned, we recognize what the ribbons of Bombay did, and next time we will be able to. Okay, these are the images. The Expendables in Jan. Yes, under the Venerable Field Marshal Ten Kobo. They did a marvelous job, and we are so proud of them. And we encourage them, and we encourage all of our fighters to step up and do the right thing for your country, for your people, and we will recognize you. You will be recognized, you will be glorified, you will be rewarded. Nothing we give you can measure up to what you actually put out there. But we just want you to know that we know what you are doing, we appreciate it, and we thank you for it. And we urge you to continue giving us good, more better results going forward. So again, kudos to the Expendables of Indian under Field Marshal Ten Kobo. He says he is talk and do. So he talks, but he also does it. He doesn't just talk, but he does exactly what he says he will do. So thank you very much. I don't know, I think someone is saying the sound is not so good. I don't know what is going on. Can you hear me, Mike?
I hear you. It's true. I just wanted to say the sound is not the best. I didn't know whether it was from my own gadgets or actually from yours. Okay. But the sound is shaking a little. Come again.
Is it better now?
Well, not. It has dropped.
Okay, I don't know what the problem is. I really don't know what the issue is. I'm in the same position. I haven't moved. So let me see.
Maybe battery or something. Or connection.
Let me see. I don't think so. Is it better now?
Yeah, just keep on.
At the end of the show, so I think it doesn't really matter.
It is okay. You can continue and run. What about my own sound? Does it indicate any change to you?
I can hear you perfectly.
All right.
I can hear you perfectly, but I don't know why the sound is not good. All right. In any case, we're almost at the end here, so let us take a lesson. There was an image there of what is happening in Ukraine, so we can learn from them and copy that example in fighting for our homeland, valuing our people, valuing what we have as people, and take this thing. So your final thoughts, just give your final thoughts, and let's close the show. We have just a few more minutes to go.
All right. Thank you very much, Chairman Mike, for a wonderful initiative and a wonderful coordination of this program. Thank you, fellow viewers of ABC TV, ABS Africa Broadcasting Service. And we say a big thank you to our able technicians at the audio consoles, the technical consoles. We also say, once again, thank you to all fighting forces on ground defending our motherland. Field Marshal Ten Kobo, you may be up again in April. So don't let the fire cool a little. Boy, you did marvelously. You were very close, and the rest.
Yes.
So we hope you can redouble and actually make it in April. We are very conscious and cognizant of your tireless efforts out there. And of course, Mezam County, eyes are set on you. The challenge is out there, and we know you are equal to the task. Or just all of you, and let us continue to do as you just heard our chairman say. We are very optimistic about the issue of upgrading, improving on the cash price, or initiating a second price and a third price. Thank you. The Lord is in absolute control, and victory is on our side because we are standing on the side of truth. Do not allow the falsehood that are being blown out there to come near you. Butcher those kind of falsehoods with truth, which is sharper than any double-edged sword. This way, the chairman has just shown you an image of what is happening there in Ukraine and with Russia. Know that this nation, the Republic of Cameroon, sent our own people who were very disciplined to go and fight in Cambodia to help the UN troops, peacekeeping forces in other nations. So you do well. Your end is not just there in Federal Republic of Ambazonia. You may also go out of that nation to UN peacekeeping forces in other places. Thank you very much. Let that spur you up, for victory is closer than you ever dreamt of.
Thank you, Reverend Mike, and I would like to really again congratulate the Expendables 100 of Jam for winning the first trophy of the MPFF award. So again, fellow Ambassadors, I'm very delighted to have had you during this show today, and I just hope that you keep watching that every Wednesday. We had to move it to Friday because of the technical issues we had on Wednesday, and we could not run the show, but every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Amber time, the war zone will be on, and we will continue to sensitize our people, encourage our fighters, and to make sure that we continue taking this fight to the Republic until our homeland is completely free. So we don't know who will win next time, next month, but let's focus on the work. The work alone will determine who wins. Like Reverend Michael already said, we came in very close, Bali came in very close, even the rebounds came in very close, but the performance of the Expendables was just so outstanding that they stood apart and they had to take it for this month. So it's up to you to do what you can do so that next month you too can take home the trophy. Again, thank you for all you do for Ambazonia. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And with that, we say good night, and I'll see you next time. And the war zone is out.